Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about phasing in Revit. This I find is confusing to a lot of users. And if you find phasing in Revit confusing, stick around. I will explain what it is and how to never get it wrong again. So what is phasing in Revit? Phasing in Revit is the way by which we work on projects that needs to be segmented into different time stamps. So for example, if you are working on a renovation project, maybe you want to extend your kitchen or your living room, you will first of all want to know what is existing in your kitchen and then what you want to demolish and then what you need to add to the design. That is what you need to add to your kitchen. So now that I've explained it, it's what is existing, what you've demolished, and now what you add. And it appears there are 3 phases, but actually this is why a lot of users get it wrong. In what I've explained, there are only 2 phases. So think of phases as a human being. A human being will naturally go through many phases in life, but let's simplify it to a toddler, teenager, and adulthood. So a human being will go through those 3 phases. And those phases are chronological. So it will have to be a toddler before he becomes a teenager and then before he becomes an adult. Each of these phases are unique in themselves. So once a person transitions from being a toddler to being a teenager, everything that exists in the previous phase, in the toddler phase, comes with him to the teenage phase. Now that he is in the teenage phase of his life, this is when he will demolish stuffs from the previous phase. And this is when he would add more stuffs. So he's in the teenage phase of his life, and now he could say, all right, that's coming from my teenage phase. I don't want that anymore to be part of me as a teenager. Now I want this to be part of me as a teenager. So now we've only got 2 phases. In the kitchen example that I've used, if you want to renovate your kitchen, you only need 2 phases. What is existing and what is new. What is existing is 1 phase, and now you come to what is new. That's another phase. That's when you demolish stuffs and then you add stuffs. I think because of the naming of the default names that Revit assigns to it, that's why a lot of people get it wrong. To make it easier, I've come up with, I've carried on that analogy, and I have modified the default phasing or the default names in Revit to have existing, which I've put toddler in front, intermediate, teenager, and new construction. So now I've added another phase into the default that comes with Revit to make it 3 phases. So think of it as toddler, teenager, and adulthood. So I made up this basic, simple project. It's just a bunch of walls and a door and windows. So I would select everything and make sure they are in the existing phase. Now I will switch the phase over to intermediate, that is teenager. Now I'm in my teenage phase. You can see the graphics have changed now to gray, saying, look, all of these gray items came over with you from the previous phase. Now I get to decide what to do with them. And so I don't want the boring front wall. I will select it and I will demolish it in the current phase. And you can see also the graphics will change, just to say that, look, in this phase, you've demolished what you brought with you from the previous phase. Now, my front wall is gone. I have an opportunity to put whatever I like in there. So in this case, I put a glass wall, and that becomes my previous and now new phase. And that's it. You can go on with that principle and just add many things to demolish and add more items to it in that current phase. Now I went on further to my third phase, which I've now called new construction or adulthood. And you can see the graphics now has changed. And here I have an opportunity to demolish more items, and I've used the hammer tool just to show you that, yeah, you can use the hammer to break things apart in Revit, just to demolish stuffs. Now I can play around with the face filter, and you can see now that I can easily move in time from one phase to another and then to the other. So if you think of it chronologically like that, I think it will make it a lot easier for you to grasp the concept.